Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back border, and it's time for another Pokemon Ultra Sun video here on the channel. Kind of a, what'd you call it, like a post-game kind of thing, because we did complete the main story, and we completed the Team Rainbow Rocket chapter as well. So there's really, I don't think there's much more to do. What I'm going to do off-camera is explore the islands once again, see if anything new does happen. But there is something I do want to accomplish. Starting right now, we're going to head over to the Battle Tree. We went here previously. We did get a bunch of the Mega Stones that were available for sale for the battle points we've been saving up. Even, well, you know, also Beach Points, they were called. And, yeah, we have a fair number of Mega Stones, but there are still a couple we cannot get yet. We have to go through and defeat Trainer Red. I almost said Trainer Number Red. That's not right. This guy's still not going to tell me my potential. Why? Rotom is even looking sad right now. So, in lieu of a team recap, what I'll do is show you what I have assembled. I did send some Pokemon over from Pokémon Moon, some of my previous Pokemon from past games. Hey, we got the egg power. It is a Roto hatches. It's kind of funny that there was only one kind of image for the Roto hatching, but some other images like the faces or the stars indicate several different kinds of Roto powers. Anyway, Roto hatch, yeah, good stuff. Alright, so from what I remember, defeating Red does get you the Mega Stones for the Kanto starting Pokemon. So, I guess there's nothing more to do but go and talk to this lady here. Welcome to the Battle Tree. I'm the receptionist. How can I help you? Let's learn more. What would you like to hear about? I kind of know all this already, so I don't need to hear that. Can we change? What music can we change it to? Current music is Trainer version number 1. What music would you like? We got a... Oh, cool! Excuse me, it's kind of late at night as I'm recording this. We got Ultra Recon Squad, we got Entry Ultra Beasts. These are all very cool songs, I'm sure. Let's do Necrozma version 2. Why not? Alright, so let's go actually into battle. Which battle format do you want? We're going to do single battles, for starters. Battle Tree single, your Pokemon, no restrictions on level, special Pokemon are permitted, same Pokemon are banned, same items are banned. So I guess that's going to be it. Let's go. We're going to choose that one up. I believe it sets them all to level 50, if I recall correctly. Want to try the single battle? Yes, I do, of course. Please choose your Pokemon for the battle. So I went to go and add Pokemon from previous games. We have Irwin the Crocodile, Zapdos, and Pinky the Slowbro. That's going to be my Battle Tree team. We got some pretty competitive items, too. We got, well, I'll show you here. Let's check the summary. You see that Irwin is holding Choice Scarf. He's got the moves of Earthquake, Rock Slide, Knockoff, and Stealth Rock. And he has Brave Nature, which is attack up, speed down. So, kind of counterintuitive with the Choice Scarf, but Choice Scarf does add more speed. Limits you to locking into one move, but if you choose the right move, you're good to go. And he has Moxie for the ability, which as you'll see, if I can tap it, the Pokemon shows Moxie. And that boosts the attack stat after knocking out any Pokemon, which is kind of cool. Even knocking out your own partner in a double battle actually builds up the Moxie as well. Next we have Zapdos, level 100. They're all level 100 for previous games. Pressure is the ability holding Choice Specs, which just like Choice Scarf limits you to one move, but this does add 50% to your special attack stat. And if you look, even though Zapdos has a, what is that nature? It's not mild, is it? Jolly. It's a Jolly Zapdos. Although he has special attack drop for the nature, he does have speed boost there. Plus the Choice Specs are going to help out with that hindering nature. He has Discharge, Heat Wave, Signal Beam, and Hidden Power. His Hidden Power happens to be Fighting. Now Zapdos' only two weaknesses are Ice and Rock, plus Ground if he roosts, but I don't have Roost on here of course. So his only two weaknesses, Ice and Rock, are both weak to Fighting. So if we need to, we can make use of the Hidden Power Fighting with the Choice Specs boost. Anyway, also, look at all these ribbons. I love all these ribbons. Last but not least, we have Pinky, our Slowbro, with the Oblivious ability, holding Slowbro Knight. We have Mega Evolution potential here. He's got an Adamant nature, which really is not the best, given the fact that he's a special offensive Pokemon, but whatever. He's got Slack Off, Scald, Signal Beam, and Calm Mind for the moves. Now, it's kind of nice when you go into Mega Slowbro. Actually, what does this say? Alright, it doesn't even tell you exactly what happens. You gain, I believe it's the Shell Armor ability, which says you cannot be critical hit. So once I start getting some Calm Minds up, building my special attack and special defense, if they're trying to hit me on the special side, they can't break through and get a critical, which is very nice. That's going to be my team for the Battle Tree. So we're going to lead with Irwin. He's usually my first choice here. I was able to get pretty far in the Battle Tree using these Pokemon in Pokemon Moon. Let's see how far we can make it this time in Pokemon Ultra Sun. So since our big Team Rainbow Rocket finale did go 2 hours, it was a 2-hour live stream. I think that's the longest I've done so far. I'm going to sort of cut these videos to about a half-hour each to sort of get back on track. I chose the right music. Listen to this epicness as we beat up this poor little kid. And, yeah, I'm hoping to fight Trainer Red. I think you fight him after 7 trainers, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm not sure. Anyway, Irwin with the Choice Scarf comes in. We're probably going to see Fake Out here, but let's go for a knockoff. I think the opponents have held items in this too. Alright, you're going to Flitch us, that's fine. We take a little bit of damage there. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, this is terrible! They're all level 50, we're bringing level 100s? That's bad! Okay, this is going to be a piece of cake, clearly. I wonder why they would be at level 50. First, the battle tree normally sets everything to level 100, so this might not be the most impressive showing of our Pokemon. Also, bear in mind, the layout has not been updated. It doesn't have our current battle tree team, but, you know, whatever. You can see who we're using here. In fact, you know what? If they're all going to be level 50, I'm pretty sure Irwin is just going to clean sweep this whole battle tree. I feel kind of bad, but I can't change my Pokemon's levels. There is no such thing as a common candy to drop your level. And we just knocked off everything. I'm going to tell my daddy on you. So, what's he going to do? Is he going to be the next opponent? We get a nice heal, and we're going to make our way up the battle tree. This battle tree reminds me of, I forget what stage it was, but there was a stage in Sonic Unleashed. Apatos, something like that. What do we call it? Pixie. Anyway, I forget the name of the stage, but yeah, there's a place in Sonic Unleashed where you're running around, I think, kind of like this trees with these platforms going up and down. Maybe someday I'll start doing a Sonic the Hedgehog series on the channel. Because I have been a big fan of Sonic from way back in the day. When I was a kid, I was 100% going for the Nintendo consoles. You know, I was the, withdraw area, Liepard. So you resist this knockoff, but if you have an item, we're going to get double power on that one. And you got yourself an item. Well, you had yourself an item. Now, not so much. Roselli Berry. The fairy damage reducing berry. Alright, so this thing could have Sturdy, which doesn't really concern me that much, given the fact that what's it going to hit us with. But yeah, so I was always... Call me a Nintendo fanboy, if you will. Oh, no Sturdy, really. So, I would always stick to, like, NES. I went on to Super NES, of course, N64 and all that. But I never really considered going for the other consoles. You know, what else? What came along the way? There was, like, the 3DO. There was, TurboGrafx 16 was a console. There's a whole bunch of different ones that I was like, I don't really have an interest in them. I like the Nintendo games. However, one game that made me feel like I was sort of betraying my Nintendo roots was Sonic the Hedgehog. I really enjoyed Sonic games, and my cousin, I remember visiting his house for just a family gathering, and he was showing me Sonic the Hedgehog 1, just back then known as Sonic the Hedgehog. And apparently, I made it further in the game than he had ever made it. I was going through Labyrinth Zone, which is the underwater maze area, and I guess he couldn't make it that far, but I got there. And I really liked it so much. I felt like I was cheating on Nintendo when I got myself a Sega Genesis, and eventually got a Sega CD. Didn't have the 32X, but look at this, we're just knocking off everything. One by one, things are getting knocked off left and right. This is not very interesting, I'm sure, but maybe this gives me time to talk about, you know, my introduction into the world of video games. But yeah, so I had the Sega CD, or Sega Genesis and Sega CD, and I played pretty much every Sonic game that came out on the consoles, and I was a big, huge fan of that. So, like I said, although I felt like I was betraying Nintendo, going with Sonic and letting him bring me into the world of Sega, I was quite happy to see that when Sega stopped making consoles and just started making, you know, third-party games for other systems, they brought Sonic over to the Nintendo with the GameCube. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, I believe, was the first game that they made. And I was like, awesome! So I chose one of the best characters throughout gaming history to stick with, because clearly he's now siding with Nintendo. Or at least, he's not exclusively with Nintendo, but close enough that I chose a good Pokemon, a good video game character to stick with. And it's really neat. Like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a full-fledged Mario and Sonic platform game, if and whenever they make one. Hopefully we'll see that at some point. And, I mean, I like the fact that Mario and Sonic are in the Olympic Games series. It was kind of cool for the first time to see them together. And of course, Sonic's in Smash Brothers as well. Those aren't technically the actual Mario and Sonic, though. They're supposed to be just the little trophies that the kid plays with that you see in the intro of... Well, you see the hand in the intro of Super Smash Brothers on the N64, the original, which, of course... Okay, this leads into an interesting kind of question. Me and my friend John were talking about this. So, I think he was saying that he finds it weird that Master Hand... Or no, sorry, like in Subspace Emissary in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Taboo comes out of nowhere. There's no real explanation for who Taboo is and what his purpose is, anything like that. But what's really weird is we've always known Master Hand is just the hand of the kid playing with his toys, right? And of course, Crazy Hand is when he's having some sort of spasm or something like that. So, like, where does Taboo come from? When you see Master Hand in story mode, it's chained up. It's got chains stuck into its hand and like the fingers and stuff, and Taboo is controlling it. So, like, who is Taboo? Is it supposed to be like, say, the kid's parents or a teacher or something like that? If so, why did they chain that kid's hand? Have I possibly put too much thought into this to try to make sense of anything? That's potential. Quite possibly. But I had, in fact, I still have it over on the shelf there. I can show you that sometime. I think I already did, but in one of the other videos. But I've got the original Game Boy. No, I lie. Original Game Boy style, but it's actually the green-colored one. I did have an original gray Game Boy back then, and so you kids these days are spoiled with all of your, you know, your cell phones, your smartphones, your amazing technologies and such these days. Your 3DSs, for example. Back in my day, Game Boy was kind of hard to play, just in the sense that the screen was hard to see. It was, it would get kind of faded here and there. You had to hold it in a certain lighting, and it had a certain charm to it, though. Like, I remember many times I'd be sitting there. What are you holding? That's our first miss. You must be holding, I'm going to say, Lax Incense or Bright Powder. It's not going to save you for long, Aromatisse, eh? Or is it just Aromatisse? I'm not sure. Aromatisse, probably. Lax Incense, I thought so. And, yeah, so I remember many times I'd be sitting there with the Game Boy, having to hold it with the light shining right on it, and playing such games as Tetris and Dr. Mario. I really like puzzle games. And I had the original Super Mario Land as well. I had Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins as well, which was the introduction of Wario, I believe. I think I might have heard he might have come before that, but I can't remember. Anyway, Wario is an interesting addition to the Mario series. He starts off as a villain, of course, and eventually, as we know from the WarioWare series, he becomes more of like he's just like some sort of a punk, right? And he is in charge of making all the WarioWare mini games because it's all about money. You gotta make all that money, and that's clearly what Wario is all about. And what was kind of funny is I've always seen Wario as a villain, mostly. I mean, he works with you in Super Mario 64 DS, I believe it is. But it was funny in Subspace Emissary when he shows up. He first appears when you've beaten Petey Piranha, and he uses the I forget what the name of the gun is, but he transforms either Peach or Zelda into a trophy and takes it. And my niece was actually watching this the story mode, and she's like, "Wario's a bad guy?" Or she's like, you know, "Wario's a bad guy now," or something like that. And I was like, when did he stop being a bad guy? I've always seen him as a villain. But I guess, as my nephew said, she probably meant more like, he's not a villain so much now. He's still like the anti-Mario, you know, the anti-hero kind of thing. But, oh, you landed a hit on me. You got a quick attack. Oh, that was a Life Orb quick attack, too. Get out of here, Manectric. But Wario is an interesting addition, and so is Waluigi. And I believe, yeah, Waluigi was first introduced just so Wario could have a partner in tennis. Isn't that strange? and he has grown to be some of everybody's, or one of many people's favorite character. Well, looks like we go to trainer number 20 then. This is an interesting episode, is it not? I'm just clicking knockoff, just like non-stop. So I guess we could a little bit reminisce about our adventures through Ultra Sun and kind of Ultra Moon in a way, but of course it was different. I really like the way this story went. Like, it kind of surprised me when we found out that Lucamine was kind of actually more like a good guy in this one, because of course she was one of the main villains in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like, we didn't even see her fuse up with Nihilego, UB01 Symbiont, right? Nice little change of pace. Nidoqueen comes in. Another knockoff. We might get poison pointed, unfortunately. What's kind of annoying, too, if the opponent is holding Focus Sash and you use knockoff, the Focus Sash activates before you would knock it off. So it's like you can't get the one-hit knockout if you're holding Focus Sash. I say annoying. Now, if it's me doing that, I would prefer to survive with Focus Sash, of course. But when it's the opponent using it, come on. Stop wasting my time, Honch Crow. What are you the head honcho of? You don't have a murder behind you. Murder, of course, being the name of a flock of crows. I saw this thing someone shared on Facebook, and it shows the name of every, you know, sort of like herd, so to speak, of different species. And some of them I didn't even have any clue. Like, so a flock of geese is called a gander. A group of whales is called a pod. I can't think of some of the other ones, but there were some really interesting names for some of these things. And some of them are actually like, I think there's a bird that says its name for its group is different based on if it's flying or nesting, or something like that. There's something like they have to be in a certain action to have this particular name. It's kind of weird. So is there really anything much more to talk about? We're just tearing through all these Pokemon. I did do, as you saw when I started the episode, I just finished up the Ultra Wormhole. I found a shiny Yanmega, which does lead me to, of course, the whole thing of eventually I want to do some wonder trading. Some wonder trading of these shiny Pokemon, maybe even some extra Ultra Beasts that I happen to pick up, because as soon as I'm done recording this episode here, I'll probably do some more Warp Riding. It's become one of my favorite things to do. I should do more of the surfing, too. Oh, look, see? Telling you, Focus Sash. So it survives thanks to that. It would have been a one-hit KO if not for that Focus Sash. But the surfing, I like that. I'm actually going to keep doing more surfing so I can get more of these competitive items here at the Battle Tree. It is so easy. Like, I'm getting one battle point for each of these knockouts, for each of these, you know, battles that I've won, which I guess is okay given how easy this is. But I hope we can set the rules to, like, level 50 all, because that's when things get interesting. Now, am I wasting time? Am I going to fight Red at one point? Actually, wait. Do you fight Red in only the doubles, or... I think you can fight him in singles. I seem to recall fighting Blue in a double battle. I might be wasting everybody's time, but I'm pretty sure when you get to level 20, or Trainer 20, that's like the amazing character. But I think you need to do singles in order to meet some of the other characters. We're gonna find out. So in the meantime, what else is there really to talk about? I actually have this here. If you don't know what this is, I can get a legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Ultra Sun, or even regular Pokemon Sun or Moon. If I activate this code on the back, first of all, a friend of mine, Brandon, got that from me. He went into EB Games, which is our Canadian version of GameStop, and picked up that code. They asked him, do you play the video game? And he said no, but he knows someone who does, me. And they're like, here, take this. So I get myself a free legendary Pokemon. But what is nice, in Pokemon Sun and... Pokemon Ultra Sun, you can normally only find Dialga, which we currently have in my collection, but this code lets me get Palkia in Ultra Sun. And when you have both of them in your party, you have a chance to go find yourself Giratina through the wormholes. Maybe I should do... No, I'll save that for, I think, one of the live streams. I was going to say I could do it now as a pre-recorded, but it's probably better to wait so you guys can check that out with me. You know what's really interesting about doing Let's Plays and keeping commentary going and stuff like that? When you don't have anything on screen to really talk about, it gets kind of hard to, oh, I wanted to fight one of the special trainers. I'm at trainer number 10. But it gets hard to really keep talking about interesting things to keep people, well, interested. And now I'm scrambling for things to say. In between doing these videos, I'm doing some more training back in regular Pokemon Moon, because my main team from there, from that playthrough, I'm not all the way up to level 100 yet. I think the lowest I've got is either Nebby, our Lunala, or Igaloo, the Alolan Sandshrew. They are at the high 80s right now. Some of my Pokemon are almost level 100 in that, though. And as soon as they are fully trained up to level 100, I'm bringing them over here. I was considering Ultra Sun to sort of be not part of my main series, my main adventures, but since the competitive scene and the online competitions are going to be taking place in Ultra Sun now, I might as well bring my guys over and do some of those challenges here. Which reminds me, I gotta start checking out more frequently the Pokemon Global Link and see when the next competition is going to be. I think there's one already underway, the Ultra Sinnoh, I think it was called. And sadly, I'm not yet prepared for that, but I'll get there eventually. I mean, all I gotta do is bring my Pokemon over and then give them the proper held items, I guess. I also can't wait to check out those move tutors and see what I can teach some of my previous guys. Like, for a while there, who has Ice Punch? I have Machamp with Ice Punch. And, of course, good for flying-type Pokemon that he is weak to. And it was a move I could only give him back in Gen 6 from a move tutor. In... which game was that? I forget. Actually, he might have been from Gen 5. Anyways, it's one of those moves that if he forgot it in Pokemon Moon, I could not get it back to him once again. One of the downsides is, okay, nowadays when a Pokemon is caught in Gen 7, even back in Gen 6 they did this too, the game keeps data of what moves they had when they were first originated, right? Either hatched from an egg or caught in the wild, so they keep track of those moves that if you forget that move, that particular Pokemon itself still has that memory locked in, so that Madame Memoire, whatever her name is, at the top of Mount Lanakila, she can bring those moves back with the Heart Scale. Whereas normally in previous games they would only teach the Pokemon moves that they would normally learn by leveling up to the level that they're currently at. But Pokemon from before those generations can't retain those attacks, unfortunately. So let's say, well, for example, Whiskers, my Persian, she has Payday. It's normally a move that Persian cannot learn, but Meowth, of course, can learn it. So nowadays, if I had caught her in the current games, I could probably still teach it back to her if she forgot Payday, but since she comes from an older game, I actually tested this without saving. I made her forget it, and I went to the move relearner. She can't get Payday back. So I would like to see if they would update eventually to include, like, let's say if I send Whiskers into like Gen 8 whenever it happens, if they would retain the data in her data file that the 4 moves that she comes in with, I believe we have Spite, Payday, I forget what else, maybe Play Rough, do they get that? But also Power Gem, I believe she has. So it'd be nice if they would retain all that info, so that if I do want to replace Payday someday, because it's not a competitive attack, clearly, I can teach her something better for when I use her in battles against other trainers. But for the time being, I got to keep Payday, unless eventually a later generation allows her to relearn that. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but I'm going to hold my breath on this wheezing, because that's not the best kind of stuff you want to be breathing in right there. Take a nap, wheezing. I hope you guys find this interesting. This reminds me of when I was watching Markiplier play Five Nights at Freddy's spin-off game, the name of which I will not mention, because foul language and all that stuff, but he would be just sitting there, playing the game, grinding up, and just kind of chatting with the viewers. And what's weird is there's not a lot happening in-game, but just hearing the stuff that he has to talk about was pretty interesting. And it's cool to sit back and listen to him. So is there anything cool that I could talk about to keep you folks interested? If this was a live stream, I would say, how about you throw me a comment on what to talk about? But as of right now, that's not an option. However, I did just realize we got 2 battle points from one of those trainers just now. that means that when we get to level 20, that is the legendary trainer, which I forgot about. You go, basically, the first 10 trainers in here, you get 1 battle point. The next 9, you get 2 battle points, so that's 18 for them, 10 from the first 10, so that's 28. And by beating the final trainer, whoever the leader is at level 20, they give you 20 battle points. That gives you a nice clean 48 battle points, which generally is enough to buy the more expensive items in the shops here at the Battle Tree. Not bad. I should also go back to the Battle Royal Dome and see what items they have. Alright, now we're +1 attack. Will this fighting type handle the knockoff? And if so, what will it hit us back with? Never you mind. We are double the level. It was an expert belt too. Oh, they had ice hammered us. Is that it? Ice hammer? I think so. What's with all these types resistant to dark? Not that it's really going to matter that much. Fake out, come on. This is such an interesting, intense battle. Oh, I can barely keep my eyes open. How many trainers are we through? That was a Razor Fang. Wait, why wouldn't you give it a Razor Claw? Or no, wait. So Razor Fang, I think, has a chance to flinch. And Razor Claw... Oh, I knew what that thing's strategy was. It was then going to fling the Razor Fang at us to make us flinch again. Excuse me, flinch again. And Razor Claw increases the critical hit ratio, I believe. I just thought it was weird that that thing would have it, because as we all know, have a Sneasel trade while holding a Razor Claw to become a Weavile. And back in Pokémon Moon, apparently, Weavile was one of the rarest Pokémon that you could get, simply because there was no Razor Claw you could pick up in the game. It was only obtainable, from what I understand. Look at this! Crocodile versus Alligator. Which one is the better reptile? Ignoring the level difference, it's kind of hard to do, because clearly, yeah. But, yeah, Razor Claw you can only find apparently by stealing them from a wild Jangmo-O, which was a rare chance to find them in and of itself, but it was also a rare chance for them to be holding it. I found one on like my 3rd try, I think it was. Just luck of the draw. I was using my Butterfree critter with the Compound Eyes ability, which if you have a Compound Eyes Pokemon at the lead of your party as you're doing some hunting, it increases the chance of the wild Pokemon you encounter holding an item. And I would then switch out to a Pokemon that had, I believe, Frisk, so I could see, is this Jangmo-O holding a held item? And sure enough, the 3rd one I encountered did have the Razor Claw. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So I did, I believe I also had Thief on my Pokemon as well. So, simply put, just snag that item away. That would be really interesting back in Gen 6, when I would do the Horde battles in either Pokemon X or Pokemon Omega Ruby, other games that I had, and get into a Horde battle, use your Compound Eyes Pokemon, you get 5 Pokemon showing up, and it increases the chance of each one of them having a held item. What was kind of crazy was when I would find a bunch of like wild Zigzagoon, it would say one of them had Revive and the others had Oran Berries. It doesn't show you which one holds which item is the problem. So you have to sort of guess and see. And if you only have one Pokemon with Thief, once you thief away an item, if you take the berry, you can't use the berry. Well, unless you actually get weakened, right? But once you've taken the berry, you can't be taking that Revive because you're already holding an item. You could always, I guess, go with Switcheroo or Trick and keep tricking until you get the item that you want. That probably would have been a better idea now that I think about it. Stop with the fake outs. You're just slowing things down. You're not going to beat us. Watch me say that, and then they're going to completely pull something unexpected. Oh, man. You've got some defense on you. How? Ooh, we might actually have a challenge in this one. What are we, like halfway through the episode? Come on, dodge it. Pokemon Refresh. Of course, it doesn't do anything here in the Battle Tree. Oh, if you could land one more of those, you might have stood a chance. I don't think even a critical would have taken us down. No, unfortunately, Scrafty, you gotta go take a seat. A valiant effort, I'll give you that. Should have tried to double team when you had the chance. And our Moxie boost again. Rotom! Aventurized Rotom Dex! You don't want to see this happen! Excuse me. It is late, and I still gotta record Pokemon TCG for the day, too. I'll probably be sleeping in tomorrow. Vacation is over indeed. How many trainers are left in this grinding session? At least we're getting battle points. I could gain so many more battle points, though, by doing the surfing. You know what? In retrospect, I probably should have skipped all of this and went right to the finals. But I guess it's cool that we learn along the way together. Exactly what you're looking at here. I still feel bad, though, that there's not going to be as much challenge. Because if they'd only have level 50s, something's just not right. I don't know. Alright, so this Slacking, of course, is going to have True Wind. It's going to survive a hit, though. Is it going to fake me out? No. Do they learn Fake Out? I don't even know. Anyway, whatever it learns, can't use it. It's done. A Choppleberry egg. And now that I'm thinking about it, this music is way too epic for what we're doing here. I should have chosen... I just chose the basic trainer song. Because clearly... yeah, this is not epic at all. Oh, Citrus Berry. And the last Pokemon from this punk girl is Malamar. I remember Nefarious. I would really like to use a Malamar again in a playthrough at some point. Probably not until Gen 6, though, because they don't exist before then. Although I've seen people do playthroughs of retro games that have been updated to include newer Pokemon. So, I don't know if I'll ever do that. I might eventually on the channel, maybe, but my main concern is still getting through the main series, the main stories. Pokemon Pearl is the next game that we're going to be starting up, and I'm going to see if I can start that as early as next week. So we can continue our adventures through the various generations of Pokemon. I'm going to go through Pokemon Pearl, and I'm going to see if I can do Battle Revolution as well. That was released on the Wii. So I can take some of my classic Pokemon from Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh into Battle Revolution and get some, like... What I liked about Battle Revolution, if you don't know what that is, consider it the Nintendo Wii version of Pokemon Stadium. You could go into different challenge modes. There was all these cool different Coliseums that you would go to, and they all had their different rules and such. And back when TMs were a one-time use item, that was the only way to get some more TMs in your DS games. Because you could actually send stuff from the DS to your, the Wii as well. So... things like Water Pulse, Ice Beam, other TMs that are really, really useful. You could get a bunch of them repeatedly. Oh no, you can buy one of each, I believe, from the shop in Battle Revolution. But it was so cool to be able to get more of those TMs. Because, like, what you could do, and what I could have done is, get a second copy of, say, either Pearl, maybe get Diamond, maybe get Platinum, and just keep playing that over and over to get the TMs that I wanted. But to me... that kind of defeated the purpose of it being a one-time use item. It's almost like when I say, I don't save before going after a legendary Pokemon, because they intend the legendaries to be rare and you have a one-shot at catching them. That's why if you knock it out, it goes away and never comes back. At least they did back in the older games. So, I used to save and reset if I knocked it out back in like the first few generations. Around Gen 4, I was like, I've actually got plenty of legendaries as it is. I don't need to get every last one of them. That's how I wound up not getting Uxie. That thing decided to struggle itself unconscious way back in Pokemon Pearl, and I was like, fine, I don't even want you. Let's go with Knockoff. I was going to say maybe Earthquake this time, because this resists, but... we still knock it out. I'll take that. Nothing to do but keep shrugging, because, like, there's no challenge here. But, what was I saying? Yeah, so the TMs. That was one of the things, one of the gripes I had about Gen 5. Now, people would use, game-altering products, like I think... is Game Shark still a thing? I know it was way back in the day. But they would use devices like that to, hack their game and give themselves multiple TMs, like unlimited Earthquake TMs, Psychic, stuff like that. And it kind of cheapened the whole idea of TMs, because, like, playing through the game normally, the standard way was intended to be played through, you only get one, let's say, Fire Blast. No, Fire Blast you can buy, but let's just say Earthquake. You only get one Earthquake TM. You only get one Water Pulse, things like that. The fact that some people would alter their game to give themselves multiple ones was an unfair advantage. So, Gen 5 brought in the introduction of multi-use TMs, and to me, initially, that felt like it's pandering to the hackers. It's like, oh, you know what? Everyone's going to be hacking the game, give themselves multiple TM usage. Let's just let everybody have that, even the playing field. I don't mind it for that sense of, you know, making things even for everybody, but just the fact that the hackers altered the game, and I don't know that for sure, but this is what it seems like to me. It's like the hacking that was being done encouraged Game Freak to say, well, we're going to change what we've been doing for the past 4 generations. You're going to be able to use the TMs as much as you want, which eliminates that aspect of hacking. So that was one problem I had with Gen 5. And then when Gen 6 came along, X and Y, and they did that with multiple TM usage again, I was like, you know what? I'm used to it now. Gen 5 took the bullet, so to speak. They took the hit, in my opinion, of how TM should be used. And now I like using TMs multiple times. Throw. So this is Trainer 19. Let's see if we get ourselves to possibly Trainer Red. And if so, I don't want to just completely destroy him. He's going to be level 50 though, isn't he? I mean, I hope this is Trainer Red. I might have wasted a whole bunch of time with this episode. A Battle Legend. I am ready. What are your levels going to be? Come on. Be decent. It is Red. A man of few words. Well, give me a fight, Red. You're going to leave your Pikachu? No, you're going to need Snorlax. It's only level 50! We might as well just do this. I'm pretty sure this will give us the Mega Stones, and the main reason I'm doing this is because when we start doing competitive battles against each other, myself versus the viewers, I want my Mega Stones. I definitely want to be able to Mega Evolve my Charizard, my Venusaur, and my Blastoise. And it's going to be so cool changing up their moves with the move tutors. Because I would watch a lot of a bunch of the Pokemon YouTubers that I would watch, like, say, King Nappy, Shady Penguin, Game Boy Luke. They're the 3 that really got me into watching a bunch of Pokemon content on YouTube. They would be part of these various online leagues of Pokemon battling, almost like a sports league, like baseball or, you know, football, hockey, whatever. And every week they would have a battle against each other in a tournament-style setup. So it would be cool to see them do a whole new team every week, like taking the same Pokemon, but changing their moves and their items and stuff like that. I spectacularly defeated a Battle Legend. Have some battle points to commemorate your accomplishment. 20 BP. Again, I can get double that by surfing, but it's still good. I don't need to save that. We have it on YouTube. That's okay. Now, can I get those Mega Stones? I would like that. Now you can take the consecutive Super Single Battle Challenge, Young Master Chaz. Will you actually have us set to the all level 50s, though? Or is Super Single going to be level 100s? Okay, let me check something. Do we get a new ribbon for doing that? Actually, I have to check on the PC. So first of all, I'm going to talk to Red. He's not going to say a thing. He's got something for me. Charizardite X. Charizardite Y. Wouldn't it be something if you have to beat him multiple times and he gives you one of these each time you beat him? But fortunately, that's not the case. He's just going to hand them all to us right now. Are there any other Mega Stones to get? And poof, away he goes. So let me just check and see if we have any new ribbons for our Pokemon. Now, does this guy also unlock our Judge potential? Let's check with him first, and then I can talk to, or I can check with the Pokemon. This Pokemon, who are you? What? How do I get him to Judge? What did we have to do before? I am drawing a blank. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's just end things off. I think we're pretty much at time for today's episode. Let's check your summary. Do you have any new ribbons? See, we still have our champion ribbons here for... He was one of the champions from Alola back in Pokemon Moon. Skillful Battler ribbon. That is from the Battle Tower, or Battle Tree. No, I guess nothing new. I'm going to have to look up online and see is there any new ribbons to obtain in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because I am a huge fan, as you just saw, of collecting ribbons for my Pokemon to commemorate all of the events and adventures they've been on. I just want to check the rule set for Super Single Battles. I'm going to back out, of course, if I need to. So, Super Single. Okay, so any Pokemon above level 50 will be set to level 50 in the Super Course. Okay, that's what I would be liking to do. Have it much more even paced, I guess. I don't think I'll show off the entire series of battles, though, in the next video. I might just kind of clear these out off camera, too, the regular double battle and multi-battle. I'll clear those out, and maybe I'll show you, at the start of the next episode, the last trainer of the Super Single Battle, if I, can make it with my team. I think I'll do pretty good, though. We did good back in Pokemon Moon. But I guess that's going to be it for today's episode. A lot of knockoff, basically. So, hopefully you enjoy this episode. More about me rambling about various random topics. But hopefully you're still enjoying it and learn some things about the professor here, maybe. And feel free to leave any comments down below on the topics that I was talking about. Maybe, what was your gaming sense, your gaming style back when you were first getting into video games? Anyway, what other stuff was I talking about? Would you like to throw some comments on as feedback? Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I almost said chat. It's not a live stream, Professor. But there's not much more to say right now. So I want to say thank you for watching today's episode, folks. If you enjoyed it, of course, feel free to leave a like down below. And if you didn't, if it was too much rambling, go ahead, throw a dislike and just let me know in the comments how to improve the video so I can take something as constructive feedback to improve for the future for you folks that want to watch these videos. With that, I guess we are done for the day. I want to say thanks once again for watching. You can also check out some more videos during the outro. There'll be some links to some more videos, such as Pokemon Go, we got Pokemon TCG Online, and right now it's mainly, basically, getting stumbled on my words, the focus of all the videos right here on the channel. But you can also subscribe for some more daily Pokemon content, including, hopefully coming this Sunday, the first of our viewer Wi-Fi battles here in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. With all that, it is now time for me to sign off. Thank you once again for watching, folks. Professor Chaz is doing just that, signing off, and I'll catch you next time.